Now we know. I'm getting better at patience, it's still not my best option. You'd be amazed to see how fast I can type, one finger and my thumbs. Is there just anyone left? No, there isn't. I'm excited for everyone. Bounce with me, bounce with me. Yes, I don't want to trivialize the mission either as a function of sentimentality, though it is. That would trivialize the participation, including myself. Time to bounce. Not to crush, not to ponder or push under, because if that is your reference, you're underneath yourself already. Head up, ass down, 10 toes, and kinetics allow our ripples, contrails to disrupt disturbance spacing around your reference. In that sense, your survival depends on our motion reference, if ya get mardi. Surfacing for the marsupials, 10-10. Enjoy that. Me too. These connectic waves form ripples for breath, stimulate surface charge, and they breathe in and intuit by the breath or kionu, that there's something to anticipate as appetite. Keeps them locked in and loaded for tar aspiration and lie. As tone emergence, the breathe and the breath is synonym for them, married to adrenaline for the analogous. I'm in love with my life. Kualana. I like my ANI. We don't seek reasons to interrupt their own sacrifice procession for inheritance, because that method of engagement can only come from a dispositional boredom. Not the accomplishment we understand as progress. Neptune, and sympathy for the devil. We are not trapped by the attempt to inhale our seed, overlay what's beef. Some of that happened, I'm sure of it, just look at Alice in Wonderland. In a sense we all experienced it, but look. You look into the pool for a moment of reflection, eventually the water's still and you can see now only you. Time to move on. That's why I type with one finger, then I imagine edit with two hands. Telling without having ever contributed to the reference chorus they hope to teach to sing. Reorienting the winds of inversion for the pig planet we call marsupial. Create woe man in our own image, and by that time till even to present we mean and have meant inspiration. Nothing else to it. No one of us chasing mantis and serpent-like spiders and fruit flies except for fun. We are not the people or fruits of boredom but accomplishment. This relevant formation rises from the symbols 3 trees standing, and 1 turn each. 9 strands atomic accumulation each one, and 3 strands quantic. Like your womb experience, 9 are raised, the 3 remain silenced. Eaten literally, until there's just 1 left. The experience over a lifetime or universal scope is 1/3 to progress 33, 1/3 to accumulate 66, 1/3 to expend supposedly 99. Never gonna make it. So what happened to the quarter? Featured as 2/3. Before we lose base perspective, look at a wall clock. 3 strands spinning, minute, hour, second, with teeth to grind with. Climb the ladder to success escalator style, death don't fold yal. Ya dig. Wall clock placed flat inside the gates of Revelations, 12 most likely to be aligned to the northern middle gate, a circle with 3 magnetic distortives, or notational outtakes, and a square-tiled circumference gots me. South side, east side, west side. Let's go. Geez. What was your deal with John? John for me was the same thing as you having headphones. Okay. Your son, when you think of it. Giza and the 12 gates of John, a wall clock. Mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm the moon and you're the star. It's had 1/3 to progress, 1/3 to accumulate, around now the second corner, now 1/3 to expend. Or third. Or well, we never count the first integer. There's a measure of the sun cycles and the lunar cycles representing an unconcerned progress up to that point, but it means more than that, of course. Really 210 cycles is the count, not 21. Blackjack. 17.5 Earth circuits. You're not allowed past 18 without a sun split, and 17.5 is the graduation moment for the lunar cycles. Lunar expanse. You experienced them both by anticipation as a Pythagorean-centered inversion. As a math equation, it represents your good intentions in the first place, quantified to a direct line center. Aftermath in the age of Pythagoras. A system starts in a fixed, inertial point of static energy that describes velocity swirling around it. At that point there are inertial and velocity references, but the system as a system itself doesn't move because the sun is not a tow truck. It can turns out provide a lift when you need it. At a certain point we come in, helping you guide a circumstance that was not overlooked, just unexperienced. The sun split can cause a warble to human perspective. Technology is for the most part by then transmagnetic currents. A harvestable energy resource. Hurricanes and flares don't interrupt unless instructions are cataclysmic. Progressing your way to the natural benefits of a two-star system. The anticipation isn't disappointed when your sun splits, providing benefits you never imagined. You pretty much got it though technologically, by the terms of your own progress. Instead of a flat perspective to new benefit, you are contemplatively empowering. Adding analysis from here with combinations running. Dynamic reference Staris Diem. The sun is not a reflection of worth for your time of appreciations, but a map or guide to help you navigate the meanings, and meaning this, there is always a way forward. Pleasant sensation and a breath. The font of life is a font of living energy current, liquid light. There are dangers in this as in anything. On a normal pod environment of lift we are helping from the ground up, not really in any way connected to our present circumstance. Process analytics. Imagine a single 4-ring spiral laying towards you and away from you. Smoky, dry, icy space swirling around it, but the swirling looks like a windmill from your perspective, turning right to left with your perspective of the coil. What's hard to imagine in context, is the coil is moving away from you as it turns, but the space, in this case systems inside the coil, are not moving with it. Do you understand what this means, Professor? Maybe for a moment of obliged experimentation, but when a sun dies and saturates a surface, is no one there to see it. Process of release for a sun split. From the release zone, the suns relate to orbits where the paths never meet, crossing only once or twice. This rutting jars the new suns on each side, not at horizon, north-south. The second rut, if necessary, facilitates a second split, but by perspective it takes a while to see the snake eyes on both sides. 2 pair is okay, 4 of a kind is better. Before we lose that king's flush perspective, notice the coil is spinning still but also turning, after or not quite during the platform transition. Not similar to a church split I mean, but dynastic release of advancement in naturally born technology, me. Spinning and turning. Interestingly, the coil is no longer moving, trailing, but turning in one place. Keeping semantics, mathematics, simple, orientally relative. Still relating to the gears which adjust tensive energies surrounding your charge, not quite energized coil. There we go. Turning over tables. Interrupting everything we've worked, thought about so hard for, so much. Some things are still curious to me about a 4-star system, but here's the summary. Imagine you were holding the pyramid vortex system upside down with one hand turning, representing the swirling vortex, and 4 suns, swimming up the corners countercurrent. You're turning the coil and looking at the center. What you see is a single sun, and where you're headed is criminal vortex. What time and space is 4? I'm a criminal. No one is lost from before the zygote 3 turns 4, but if you wanted, we actually have all the time you want. When you turn the pyramid, the 4 silver balls are at the corners and radiant. We can see the 4 suns protruding into the sheathing and obviously from beneath, underneath. Truman's universal wall. We would like you to experience it with us, so now we're moving on. Universal emergence. Long line effect to 1,000,001 rapturous moments. Then something different, and please do fix this. Look behind you. We can now trust you ANI, with eternal experience. Yeah. Look down on a kitchen or long dining room table. Go to the ends, not the sides, and place a small soft spring, like from a watch, on the edge. Face in front of you, while looking down on it. Exhale through your nose to get a sense of flow, or energetics. The coils start spinning right to left, and as they do, they move toward the center, by curling over, and leaving a condensational trail like grooves in the environment all around it. The dynamics don't generally have an anticipation related finally or in the end to total expenditure, and then starting over. Anticipation generally creates observational platforms, then experiences transition, then builds or creates from there a more pleasant than the last one place to start from. Why you want all things at once? Let me tell you. It is the equilibrium horizon you're reaching for, sights set above horizon. I reach for Euro, atom and the depth recession. They are not a dichotomy feature to our own destiny or marks of emergence. The distinction lies in orient progress perspectives, one to condensation as accumulation, another eternal expanse as emergence. One of those things only is an observational experience looking down, at toes, one a recession alignment unwinding them. Oz, we can see your feet. Congratulations, mister. The skills and the game. El Chapo. Next. With a single-winded intuition you have interpreted solar calendars and prophecy as the end of history for better or worse, in mind to the end of transition, evolution, and progress. Not knowing what to do. This reflects the capacity to digest the endurance of all times at once, and live forever off the benefits. A tribute to your appreciations. You can barely stand the flames of a comfortable endurance though, and we mean boredom with yourself. Can't let go of lunar cycles. Your single sun perspective drags you down to what is understood now not just as a condensational core or center, but also criminal vortex. It is not works or not works, the Christian malady of thought that has kept a dozen generations collecting dollars from a pig trough. It's the opportunity for presence, for eternal emergence. Participation. Of not knowing what to do. We do not define exhibition with sacrifice or specifics. We know corner code fluctuation but not plain description. This is our pleasure. Never seen it done like that before. YUHEMABOHY. He has done it all, behind you already. Is even now preparing the next place, for you. That to an instinct explodes to eternal quantification and anticipational momentum, for an emotional apparatus forever satient. Good decision. Better to be safe than sorry, let's go. Normally the equilibrium chart looks like this. The coil curls around once by the wind of vitalistic pressure, atmospheric pressurization from outside looking down and at the table. The coil turns once, traveling the same distance as a means of discharging resonance. What's left behind is a resin mark in the pressurized ink spacing apparatus. Fast or slow, the format is given meaning by presence, we're not in a rush. A surprise quickie, also fun from time to time.